Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Built Like This podcast. I'm your host, Maxine. We're on episode 356. Hello. Welcome. Hope you are doing well. Shout out to my braids. Hello. Okay, let's talk about Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito. Okay, you guys remember that story from 2021? She was this young 22-year-old white woman who was missing after road tripping across the country of the United States of America with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. And he returned from their trip without her, went home to his parents, because I think that's where he stayed anyway, like prior to moving with his girlfriend, with Gabby. And he actually didn't give any information, any knowledge, any type of hint as to where is Gabby Petito. It's like you out with your boyfriend, y'all go out for the weekend, y'all leave together, but he comes home without you. I say, like, where are you? And what's going on? He was non-cooperative with the police, with Gabby's family, as well as like any of the press. His family, his parents in particular, were silent. They did not give in to interviews. They did not try to bring their son to justice. Instead, they were about it for their killer son. Turns out, of course, as it was obvious, that he did kill her, and it led to him actually dying by suicide later on, like shortly thereafter, once things became even more evident that she was unalived. So now let's talk about the preventative, oh my gosh, I can't say that word. Let's talk about the ways this could have been prevented. Let's talk about that. Because yes, of course, don't stay in a relationship with a man who has been abusive towards you. Don't try to find the good in him while ignoring his obvious bad, right? Prior to this moment of the day she was unalived by him, killed by him, he was already being abusive. He was already hitting her, and I guess they will fight each other. There was an instance in which she was, let me go ahead and share my screen. Go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to this channel and you are watching me on YouTube for my audio listeners. You see here, she is in the back of a cop car, and this took place right after someone on the street saw him slap her, and they got in the car together. And this Good Samaritan decided to call in 911 and say, hey, there's this guy who I just saw slapped his girlfriend, and he was pretty violent towards her, and they just got back in the car. I think that was a little strange. So thankfully he remembered the license plate number of the vehicle that they were driving, and the cops was able to track down the car and pull them over. So he gets pulled over. They both get pulled over, and look at her right here. She is hysterical. She's crying. She says she has bad anxiety. She's not necessarily saying, yeah, he hits me and I've been trying to, like, typically when people are in these types of relationships, they're not quick to tell the public, I need help. I need to get out. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. They're still invested into it despite knowing this is wrong. So the way that this appears to the cops, she's this fragile, young, little frilly white girl, and she's being dramatic. She's, her anxiety. I think this was during a time in which anxiety, this is still 2021, so fairly recent, but still, I think there was a period in which people did not make anxiety to be the big deal that it is. It is a big deal. When you suffer from anxiety, like severe anxiety, it's a big deal. It handicaps you. It takes you away from enjoying life. So when you are trying to be calm or trying to hang out and chill, it's damn near impossible. But because there are a lot of people who, at least at this time, don't take it seriously or is just pretty much ignorant to the seriousness of anxiety, this is the reason why this young girl did not get the proper treatment at this time. And that could have prevented the circumstances being what it turned out to be. So at this time, she's here. She admits that she hit him. And her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, he's saying that he was defending himself. Now, let's be honest here. There are plenty of relationships in which women have been the aggressor. Let's talk about that. I know she has been obviously taken by this boyfriend of hers and she was wronged at the end and he later on taking his own life. But the point is, I want to kind of talk about different fragments of this whole situation. There are plenty of women who are aggressors in relationships, and because women aren't seen as threats or dangers at all to men, it's not taken seriously, and women aren't taught well enough that you shouldn't put your hands on a man. It's just always taught the other way around, right? A man should not put his hands on a woman, and period, that's it. So here she admits, she says that she was hitting him because her anxiety, they were having a hard day already, and his defense is he was holding her back. He wasn't slapping her. He wasn't hitting her first. He wasn't the aggressor. He was, in fact, defending himself. Here's what I think. I think that could be true. I think there are isolated moments in a relationship that's already abusive. He has already demonstrated abusive tendencies, abusive ways in their relationship. According to this Netflix documentary that I watched of this couple, he was emotionally abusive, he was manipulative, and he was physically abusive. And in that, let's talk about that. And in that, you have circumstances in which the woman, right, the girlfriend here, may start fights and may come across abusive in the initial part of a relationship or an argument, whatever. So I think this was just an isolated part here that showed her in the bad light rather than showing him in the bad light altogether. Like, ultimately, he's the bigger abuser, but I guess in this instance, you see, okay, well, she should have never hit him, right? Anyway, RIP to both of them, honestly. But let's get into more of this. So this couple, she's 22. I can't recall how old he is, but I think like he's not too far off. They were pretty young. So I think I want to just talk about the family here, right? This is a young girl. She looks younger. She looks younger than her age. And just, I just want to know, like, where was your focus in life? I know she wanted to become this big time blogger, this big time vlogger on YouTube, and this was an aspiration of hers. Now, yes, there are plenty of successful YouTubers out here who make plenty of money from their account, from just simply being a YouTuber. It's no longer an unfathomable type of career to have. But I felt like her parents didn't instill in her the power of education. They didn't try to push her in a path that was more revered and more respected. And I say this because she ends up getting a job at Taco Bell because she was saving up to afford this nomadic lifestyle that she and her boyfriend was in, that they developed for themselves. And sure, that is admirable. But I also feel like it could be even more admirable had she had a degree, had she, maybe discovered a study that she wants to pursue. There was just nothing else. Like, she was kind of winging life. And I feel like for her to be so young doing that, I don't know. I feel like it would have been better maybe if she was studying abroad and it was more purposeful. But things just wasn't purposeful from what we know, according to this story. So who do I want to blame? Her parents. I do want to blame her parents here. I feel like if you had your mind right, if you were more fixated on creating a sustainable life, a life that is more respectable, a life that involved education. I'm a big proponent of education. Go ahead, get another degree, get LPC in front of your name, behind your name, get a. I love school. So maybe I'm biased. Okay. I'm an educator, so I'm biased, but I feel like you can't go wrong when you have a degree. You can't go wrong when you have a respectable career. And you could do this on the side, right? Like, this isn't my sole thing that I do. Obviously, I'm not making much money yet, but eventually I would like to. This is a part of my goal. But in doing so, I have a sustainable career that sustains me. So I say all this to say, I feel like her parents, they just kind of just let her be. And on one end, I applaud I applaud that she does have parents, or did have parents, who really just allowed her to be her and wasn't pushing back on her desires to just be free and be nomadic. That's admirable. But I also feel like her parents didn't do a good job instilling in her better values. Say what you want. I know we should be more sensitive. They're grieving. Yes, and I can still say what I want to say. This is a reaction. This is a reaction to this whole story. So there's that. Now, obviously, it's wrong that his parents decided to not hold their son accountable. They helped hide him. And that's how a lot of parents are, unfortunately. They don't see anything wrong with their kid. Their kid could be a mass murderer, just a horrible degenerate. That's my baby. That's my son. That's my baby. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. And it's very disheartening. It's actually, it explains a lot, right? For him to turn out the way he is, or was, because he's no longer with us, it says a lot about his parents. It says a lot about his parents. So ultimately, RIP, very disturbing story, but I think it's a cautionary tale on a lot of different fronts. And I hope y'all took heed. I hope y'all took heed to this story. But yeah, check it out. It's on Netflix. Very interesting. I think it's 4 episodes. I forgot about how it turned. Like, I knew about the story when it came out initially, but I forgot about what happened with the son, with Brian Laundrie, her boyfriend. I didn't know that he ended up taking his own life. So, I mean, good riddance. Shit, at this point. But he should have just took his own life and not hers. But, hey, they're together. It's a joke. Okay, let's move on. What else? What is up? Hope everyone is doing well. Okay. RFK. Let's talk about it. We're going to talk about RFK. We're going to dig into Tamara Mowry's husband, Adam Housley, and how I feel about the whole situation. Let's start off from the beginning. I'm trying to pace myself. I'm trying to learn pacing, okay? So RFK, Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK, yes, RFK Jr., he is a part of the cabinet because of Trump, Trump now being our president again. Hello, MAGA. Yes, MAGA down. And RFK, his whole purpose in life for the past many years is to educate the public about why vaccines are wrong, right? Well, not vaccines are wrong, but he wants you to better question and better research what types of vaccines you should allow your body to have. And there's nothing wrong with that, but because of that, a lot of people call him an anti-vaxxer. And as soon as people tell you or describe you with certain, you're seen as, like, people dismiss you, and it's so childish, so ridiculous. But I like what he's saying. I also like the fact that he is going after junk food. RFK Jr. is going after junk food. He is calling out different just different fields in our world that is impacting our health. He talks about how the FDA, they continue to push out food products that is unhealthy, that that are filled with chemicals and things that aren't even real. And they explain why having so much of this said chemical could result in us having ADHD, behavioral issues, and different things that may impact negatively how we operate in life. So he decided to go after junk food in particular and really talk about SNAP benefits. You know how we have EBT cards, and with EBT cards, you get the privilege per se. You know, if you are of a certain tax bracket, you get to have this card, the EBT card, which the government appoints you with a certain allowance, and you get to purchase whatever you may please to help sustain you, yourself, your family and whatnot. Now, what he's doing here, he is going after these benefits in particular because he wants the American people to make better choices when it comes to their health, when it comes to what they eat on a daily basis, and how we are so quick to go to a McDonald's or go to a KFC rather than buying whole foods to create better habits that is, that are much healthy for us, or that is actually healthy for us. So according to this article here, Newsweek, RFK has signaled his intention to cut junk food purchases from being purchased using SNAP benefits. Okay. So again, he wants to make sure that those who are using EBT cards, food stamps, right, you are not allowed to purchase junk food with these benefits. Now, SNAP benefits are commonly known as food stamps, and they are administered nationwide to low and no income households that would otherwise struggle to afford groceries. In 2023, this program served an average of 42.1 million people per month. And some of them include U.S. residents, 12.6. So on average, SNAP recipients will receive an estimated $187 per month. And yeah, so anyway, what to know about this? He is in favor of stripping unhealthy foods from the SNAP program. He says verbatim, the one place that I would say that we need to really change policy is the SNAP program and food stamps and in school lunches. There, the federal government in many cases is paying for it, and we shouldn't be subsidizing people to eat poison. Now, is he wrong for feeling this way and wanting to take this initiative and make these drastic changes? Because it is drastic, right? When you are so used to buying whatever you please, and now there may be penalties in place that may prevent you from buying whatever you please, you're going to feel upset. You're going to want to fight. You're taking away my right, my personal freedom, my free will. Yet what he's doing is actually helping you to live better. He's preventing you from getting diabetes. He's preventing you from obtaining behaviors that may result in just poor habits. Okay? A lot of these foods are filled with poisonous substances, and it results to you being addicted. It results to you being just slow in your brain, the way you process. It's a lot of research that support what he is saying, how this food is actually junk food. And I think the pushback here, a lot of these companies, they are in a partnership, a conglomerate with these money makers who will be upset if you take away this access. And let me see what I can find here. All these damn pop-ups, golly. Okay, so that's just the backup here, okay? So he's saying here he does not want SNAP at all to encourage such behavior. He wants you to stop eating poison. Why is that bad? Why are we mad about that? Right? Why are we saying this is racist? Or people are so quick. A lot of these Black people, unless they're bots, but a lot of these Black people who are on Twitter, oh my gosh, y'all are forever victims. The irony here is there are more white people on food stamps than there are Black people on food stamps. Last I heard, maybe the stats change, but last I heard, it's more white than. Yet people think RFK doing this is an example of him being racist and denying Black people from having access to food because only Black people live in communities that are food deserts and only Black people can't have access to whole food. Stop it. A lot of these excuses are just that, excuses. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, yes, you may live in a food desert. You may have more McDonald's, KFC, the list goes on, right? And still, if you really want to, you would, right? If you really want to do better, if you really want to lose weight, if you really want to choose better foods to eat so that you could live a quality life, a life that could be just longer for you. If you were to eat healthier, then you would make those changes regardless. Like, you'll get up off your butt. You would if you really wanted to. And people don't realize the addiction that sugar has on us. Like, we are so addicted. Oh my gosh, sugar, carbs, the bread. Oh my gosh, I can eat bagels every day. I can eat bagels every day. And I've been eating bagels the past 4 days. And I want more, right? Why is that? Because it unlocked something addictive in my brain. I'm sure there's a particular word for it. Nonetheless, my dopamine is hit. And I'm like, I want another bagel. I want cream cheese. I don't care. But I have the power of will, right? You all do as well. And oftentimes we don't realize how powerful we are when we decide, no, I want better. No, I'm going to go for a walk today. And I'm going to do it every day this week. I just finished a workout. Maybe I sound out of breath, but all of that is a will and a way and a commitment to do so because you feel good afterwards. So let's get into Adam Housley. Adam mother effing Housley. Okay? Adam Housley is the husband of Tamara Mowry, and he has been called a MAGA since the day of Christmas. I'm like, what? Just that came up in my head, y'all. He has been called a MAGA since the beginning of MAGAism. Okay? And it's pretty unfortunate because he was what was he? He was an anchor, or Is that what's called? An anchor? He was a correspondent for Fox News. And people being as simple-minded as they equate to anyone being on Fox News as a racist, as and if you're black, as a coon. I mean, it's just so simple-minded. He is getting backlash for recent comments he's made regarding his support of RFK wanting to ban people from using SNAP to purchase junk food. Now, y'all know who Tamara Mowry is. Tamara Mowry, the twin of Tia Mowry, and people have been calling Tamara Mowry, not me. See how I said people? Because I do not agree with this. I do not agree with this. I think it's actually pretty cruel. They've called her Tamaga. Y'all get it? Tamaga. So stupid. They call her the white twin. Mind you, they're both they're biracial. They have a white father, a black mother. But they call Tamara the white one and Tia the black twin. And that's because Tia acts more stereotypically black, I guess. Like, what is black? What are we talking about? What is a woman? No, but seriously, what is black? That's so dumb. We're not a monolith. We always say this all the time. We're not a monolith. But when you dare have a black woman who is in a relationship with a man who happens to be white and happens to have worked at Fox News, he no longer works there, but even if he still worked there, does that mean her blackness is no longer legitimate? Like, come on, y'all. Y'all sound so dumb. It's retarded. I'm bringing the word back. It's retarded. So, mind you, and so Tia Mowry, she married a black man. No longer are they married, but rumor has it he took her back. I hope that's not true, but I mean, it's not my business. Who cares? But nonetheless, they called Tia Mowry the black twin, and they called Tamara the white one. So let's get into what he said. Child. So here, if you are looking on the screen, again, make sure you are subscribed. You're telling a friend to tell a friend. Leave a comment, leave a review. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you. So Adam Housley said, as a kid who grew up in the neighborhood grocery stores since I was 5, I can't tell you how many times I saw people come in and buy crap food for their kids with food stamps. Then open the wallet and use cash for liquor, beer, wine, and cigarettes. Then there were those who repeatedly buy a lemon or lime, get the change, walk out the door, throw them away, and do it again until they had enough change to buy cigarettes or alcohol. As a kid, it pissed me off because there are so many people who could really use the help. And then there are these others working the system. Now, it's these others parts. Who are these others? So this is in response to what I just shared earlier regarding RFK Jr. wanting and putting up the efforts to make sure that people who use food stamps cannot use them to purchase junk food. And Adam Housley responded to a tweet that read, "Breaking: Trump administration may ban the use of food stamps for purchasing junk food, per NYP." So New York Post, I believe. People are finding what Adam Housley to say to be racist. People are calling him a racist again. And why is that? People feel like what he's saying here is targeting Black people, even though not once did he say Black people. And there are white people and other people. There are Indians. There are Hispanic. Like, there are white people. Let's just focus on that, because I think oftentimes people don't include white people in the struggle. People don't include white people to have been raised with food stamps. To, like, hello, do we not remember that? What are we talking about? They feel like what he's saying is so racist and it's ignorant and it lacks context. But like I said, where there's a will, there's a way. I agree with everything he said here. Every single thing he said here. There are black, white, whomever, whatever the color is, but there are people who make poor decisions with government assistance. Absolutely. These people will see this as free money and will make poor choices by buying food that is convenient, buying food that is cheap, buying food that holds no nutritional, okay? And so because of this, it's setting up a poor example. I'm saying poor all the time. It's setting up a bad example for their kids, and the kids will grow up and continue these habits. All in all, I think the point here is, yeah, there should be some policies put into place to ensure people are doing better when it comes to their health and when it comes to their food. Now, sure, the argument could expand further, and people like administration, the government, whoever could do this could ensure that there are neighborhoods that have more whole foods opportunities. I've heard the excuse of it's expensive to eat healthy. It's expensive to. Here's the thing. It's really not. It's really not. We don't think in a whole mindset. We don't think in a, oh, I have to make the food, right? It's just what's more convenient. What's convenient for me is getting a $5 foot long. What's convenient for me is to get a bucket of fried chicken. It's already made. We could just heat it up the next day, eat that as a leftover. That's more convenient. What's inconvenient, but what's healthier for us is to not eat processed foods. It's to buy whole foods. It's to actually buy the spinach, the bulk of a spinach, eggplants, to make a stew, to buy rice, to buy beans, to make that, right? So it's actually much healthier. Not even actually, we know that, but it's actually much more sustainable and less expensive to eat healthy. But there's been this lie that's been perpetuated in many communities that it's not as cost effective to eat healthy. So instead, let's just get that $5 meal because it's already done for us. We already have the rotisserie chicken. You know, if you want to get it from Boston Market, we have the half chicken, you have the mac and cheese, you have the cornbread. It's already done for you. But when you want to eat healthy, you actually have to make the food yourself. You actually have to learn how to cook. You actually have to figure it out. And all of those steps is too much, and it makes people want to take the, okay? So a lot of people are having these hysterical reactions towards him. This person here says, what exactly do you mean by grew up in a neighborhood grocery store since you were 5? He says, my parents used every dime they had to open a small neighborhood grocery store. My brother and I basically lived in the back room, and as a family, we worked our butts off. I got baseball cards as pay for picking up cigarette butts in the planters, LOL. Worked those stores until I left for TV. Brother still runs both of them. Okay. So that's his context here. People are like, what do you mean you grew up? Like, so sure, that was a little confusing part of his initial message, but I think he cleared up pretty well. He had a family who bought a grocery store and sustained that and still have it under their name. It's a part of their family business. And so he's bringing that as his point of reference. So since he was 5, he do recall X, Y, and Z. He recalls being young and seeing firsthand people, black, white, whomever. Y'all putting in the race part here. He's seeing people. Like, are you feeling guilty? Which one is it? He's seeing people make poor choices with these EBT cards when instead they have the option to purchase healthier or healthy foods. So let's see what else here. Someone says here, Adam, why do you bother with the jackasses? Not worth it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're always so informative. So that's a nice one. Someone says, oh, he responds and says, it's fun to fire them up with facts. Makes them look dumber and dumber. I used to get mad. Now I laugh, and a couple times a year rip them. Then they go back in their holes only to reappear again in a few months. Okay. He got a nigga in him. Okay, Tamara, I understand. Okay, so he doesn't mind. He's not taken aback. He's not new to the trolls. He also says here, what people need to understand is that there is an absolute need for assistance in this country, and we should absolutely provide it. And as part of that, help people get off it with proper training and support. Absolutely. Unfortunately, the system has been corrupted. In California, it's badly corrupted. And he's absolutely right. He's not wrong. People don't want to hear that. People want to continue to be assisted for the rest of their lives. Because why not, right? If I'm getting free money, why not? I'll continue to work the bare minimum. I'm not going to have ambition. I'm not going to work my way out and afford things on my own and build a business and all these things, right? So, of course, I've seen this firsthand too. Growing up when I was 5, you're the only 5-year-old Adam Housley who saw this. But this is not wrong. This is not wrong. But of course, what do we get? We get a lot of backlash. People getting mad at him for speaking facts. People getting mad at him, calling him a racist for this. People think he's being obtuse. No, you're making excuses yet again. We have the power, the option, the access, but we give ourselves these thinking pieces, these excuses, thinking, oh no, I can't, I'm broke, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm black, I can't do anything better for my life. I have no choice but to eat Doritos. Because you're black, you have no choice but no choice. It's a hard word. No choice but to eat Doritos. Can we take some personal accountability? People don't want to hear personal accountability. People don't want to hear personal accountability. You are where you are because of the choices you made. Sure, there are contextual matters that helped and created a foundation, but as you get older, you do realize you have choice. You do have a choice. God has given us free will. You have a choice to do good, do bad, whatever it is. And yet you continue to choose things that are unhealthy for you. Someone says here, silver spoon leech with generational wealth handed to him, bitching and moaning, telling lies about moms on food stamps. No one said anything about moms. See? Y'all adding a whole, identity politics here. Are you feeling guilty? He responds and says, yeah, not talking about moms on food. Thank you. Not talking about moms on food stamps. I clearly defended helping families in need and clearly saw those taking advantage. Funny. Those taking advantage are the ones who hurt moms in need. He's absolutely right. Plus, we've been helping families in need since I was a kid. You, nigga, you. What about you, Pinko? At Secret Pinko. What about you? What have you been doing? Adam Housley said, I've been helping Black Lives Matter. Hello? What are y'all doing? What else? Anyway, the point is he's standing 10 toes down, and I love it. Tamara Mori, you got yourself a good man, Savannah. I love it. Stand on that. I don't give a damn. Stop letting people scare you because, I'm afraid I may appear like a racist because I'm telling the truth. He didn't say anything about Black people. He didn't say anything about other, people of color. None of that. He called a spade a spade. People don't want to hear it. It's about personal accountability. It's about responsibility. And that's a hard truth to swallow. You are in your squalor. because of you, because of your poor money management, because of your poor eating habits. The list goes on. So yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, maybe that will help me with some of my addictions. But man, I love a plain bagel with cream. Not to say that's junk food. He's more, obviously that's not junk food. Well, it depends on how you look at it. But he's talking more about Doritos and Gusher. Oh my gosh, y'all, I haven't eaten Gushers in a minute. That was my issue for quite some time. I think that was the reason why I don't want to get into that, but that has been an issue with me for quite some time. And I have not eaten Gushers in a minute. Okay, so I'm trying to be more mindful. Again, see, it's about the will. Where there's a will, there's a way. And you have to realize your personal responsibility and habits could get you there. Okay, let's move on. Godfrey. Oh, Lord. Godfrey just be... Look, I watch his stuff. I say this all the time. I say this whenever I talk about him on this podcast. I always got to start off with a disclaimer. I support him as far as I find him funny. I am entertained by him, but I do have to say I see how he's annoying. I see how he comes off loud mouth, always just stop. Like it's like this. Like it's like the way it just stop. That's how it feels to me as just a listener. I can see how he comes off as just like, oh, stop. I say that because every time I watch his stuff, he's always angry. He's always mad about something, playing the whole, white people ain't shit card. And he has Dante Nero on too. And he's this paid, he's another shill. Child, I used to like his content as far as like he had this. I don't know if he still has his podcast, Man School, but I thought it was entertaining. Nonetheless, let's get to Godfrey in this story. So Godfrey, being his loudmouth self, no one asked you this. No one was inquisitive about James Avery's sexuality, but there's been this rumor going on for some time. People are saying it like they know for certain. Now, Godfrey came on some type of live stream. I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube. Nonetheless, he's on a live stream and he's talking about how he saw James Avery backstage. Godfrey, his role at the time was to be the audience coordinator for this gospel music. And this is what he did prior to becoming a stand-up comic. And he saw James Avery. And at that point when he saw him, James Avery was allegedly behaving flamboyantly and obviously looking like a gay man, just doing whatever he was doing. And Godfrey was taken aback. He was like, no, not Uncle Phil. No. So in this live stream, Godfrey says James Avery was gay as hell. Yeah, he's gay as hell. Dude, he's gay as hell. Like, nobody, I don't care. Sorry, my dog is like, what's that? I don't want to hear it. You're being okay. No one asked for that. Let people die in the image that they portray to us for the public. And James Avery is no longer with us. Rest in peace. We all know this. He passed away a few years ago, not too long ago, but he passed away a few years ago. And he's never come out himself, right? He's never revealed in an interview that I am, in fact, a homosexual man. No, he's never said that. But apparently there's a lot of rumor surrounding this allegation that he was, in fact, gay as hell. Who knows if that's true? I would rather wait until I hear it directly from him. Maybe there's a video that we could pull up from James Avery when he was alive and he just slipped and said, hey, by the way, I'm gay. Actually, I'm gay as hell. Like, maybe there's video that supports this, but I don't care, Godfrey. I don't think it was in his place to speak on this Speak on this. There are a lot of bloggers who are out here saying, yeah, we all knew that. We all knew he's an actor. He's a thespian. A lot of people who are in entertainment, they are gay. So what's the big deal? And people try to say, oh, people are going against Godfrey about this because it's actually rooted in homophobia. Let's cut it out. No, whether it is or not, sure, there may be some people who feel homophobic about this, but that's not where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is, where do you come off, Godfrey, saying this about a man who didn't say this about himself when he was alive? Where do you come off? You had no place to do that. So even if James Avery, aka Uncle Phil, was in fact a homosexual man, he did not tell the public. Therefore, we're not going to just take your word for it and say, okay, well, I guess he was secretly gay. And I say secretly because James Avery was in fact married to a woman for 25 years. And I know people want to say, so what? What does that mean? There are plenty of... Shut up! Uncle Phil wasn't gay. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Uncle Phil wasn't gay. But regardless, so what? So since then, Godfrey actually has received a lot of backlash for this. And there is a neighbor's dog who keeps coming on my lawn and pooing, and no one is doing anything about it. I'm about to go outside real quick. We'll see. But anyway, Godfrey has apologized to the late James Avery for his insensitive remarks aimed at the late actor. Let's see here. So he took to and referred to what he said in his remarks when he said Uncle Phil was gay as hell. Because why are you saying gay as hell though? Like what? He says verbatim that... So in his apology, so so recently, a few days ago, let's see if I can find, I'm gonna play the video in a second. But in his response video to the backlash, he explains himself, and he's explained himself and said, I used the phrase, oh yeah, he was secretly gay as hell. That was distasteful and yada yada. Let's talk about that. Godfrey, let's talk about that. Oh, Godfrey just be pissing me off sometimes. Like, shut up. Like, you just this loud mouth. Why are you saying that? Like, no one asked you to speak on him.
I owe the public an apology, and I owe Mr. James Avery, rest in peace, an apology. There was a video that's going on that's been trending, and it's me doing an interview during COVID, I think. It looks like during COVID. And during COVID, I did a lot of podcasts and interviews and stuff like that. And when I looked at the video, I said, I wonder where that's from. And I'm saying that James Avery, he was gay as hell.
Okay, stop right there. Okay. Why did you say that? Let's view more on Instagram. Let's go ahead and see if I can find that tab. I guess it's not linked here. Nonetheless, he goes on and says that he apologizes. He says that was a distasteful, the way that he said that. And to a man that I respect, I highly respect James Avery. You don't even know this, man. What are you talking about? I highly respect James Avery. Godfrey, imagine, I watch his stuff because I do find him entertaining, but sometimes he be pissing me off. Like, sir, who are you highly respecting? You highly respect a stranger? Sure, you may like his work. You may respect his work, but did you have a personal relationship with him? So he's trying to like cushion his impact here by saying I highly respect. No. Godfrey the type, he'll be like, no, I didn't mean it like no. But just in the previous video, you talked about he was gay as hell. You had all this talk, but now I highly respect. No, are you okay? So he highly respects this actor who he never met in real. Sure, he may have met him at that time, but nigga, you did not have. Yes, nigga, you did not have a personal relationship with this man. I highly respect him. What? He says it was disrespectful to him, his family, and to the people who are fans of his. I had no intention of being that disrespectful. Oh, so you had an intention to be disrespectful. but you just said that you highly respect him. That's what I'm saying. Godfrey, just be talking. Shut up. I get it. You're a comedian. You're a commentator. But sometimes he just be, oh my God, he be irking me. And I get, not to shoot a shot, but just to say, I get why he is single. I get why he is unmarried. I get why he is single. I feel like he's exhausting. I think he's exhausting to be with. I could only imagine. I just watch. I have a parasocial relationship with him. I can only imagine being in an intimate setting with this man. He's probably like, I didn't mean like, come on. With his big ass mouth. Just, I highly respect just talking too much. God. All right. He explained that while his remarks recently resurfaced and went viral, he initially told a story during the COVID era. He concluded his video with another apology for the controversy. So he's just basically saying he was in a stream of consciousness and, I'm just a being comedian. This is what comedians do. Shut up. But let's go ahead and hear the initial video.
Who else gay? James Avery from The Fresh Prince. Wow. Uncle Phil, gay as hell. Yeah. Wow. He was gay.
See? Why did you bring that up? He said, and you know who else was gay? So he literally brought the topic up. No one mentioned James Avery. No one mentioned French Prince. No one mentioned Aunt Vivian. No one mentioned this man at all. But he went out to say on his own accord, and you know what? And you know who else was gay?
Hey, because you know how I know? I had to do audience coordinating for the Gospel Awards when I first started comedy in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And behind the scenes, I was there. James was there. Avery was there. It was Mike Tyson, Farrakhan. Everybody was there. And backstage, all those gospel groups? Yeah. They were all very, very gay. And I saw him. He was flamboyant. I was like this. Uncle Phil? Aunt Phil. It's Aunt Phil. Because he was like this. He was like this. He was like, girl, shoot. I was like, whoa. And he's like, see, he was a big man. I was like, yo, he's mad feminine. I was surprised. Because I'm sitting there like, that's Uncle Phil. It's Aunt Phil.
Playing games over here.
But he knew how to act and play, but he was gay too. But he was such a great actor too. Carl Winslow was, from Family Matters.
Wow.
Yeah, he's gay.
Wow. I didn't know that one.
Yeah, but these guys were like old school gays. They were very they weren't like all over. They were just,
And he was gay. And you know who else? Urkel, him, Will Smith. Where do you come off? That is not your place. It's not your place. Oh my God. I think that's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. So I'm glad he came out and apologized, but I'm not even surprised that he is getting backlash for this. Because he just talks so damn much. No one asked you to reveal this information. This wasn't a big topic that you needed to just come forward with facts about. Oh, because you saw him backstage being flamboyant? What does that even mean? Was he acting flamboyant? Was he truly being flamboyant? Do we know? Did you see him suck a dick? You got to see people in the act nowadays because he could have still been acting. He could have been acting out a role. He could have been playing with someone, acting out a role for a future film. I don't know, but let's not act like for certain that he was gay just because you saw him being flamboyant. Really? Oh, he was doing this. He was doing Sister Girl. He was doing that. And then he wanted to out Carl Winslow. He's gay too. I've heard that rumor, but do you know for sure? You don't know. All these rumors, you just being this big mouth idiot. Oh my, he irks the hell out. I understand why he is not with a woman. Not to say he's with a man, but I understand why he's single. I understand why he is single. Oh God, that nigga is annoying. He's annoying. Okay, Diddy's lawyer decided to say, no, never mind. I thought we had a case, but we don't. We don't anymore. So Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer quits his case. He said verbatim, under no circumstances can I continue with this raping idiot right here. I can't continue with this nigga right here. No, One of Sean Diddy Combs' defense lawyers quit the disgraced music producer's criminal sex trafficking case. His name is Anthony Rico. He filed a motion Thursday to withdraw as one of his 6 defense attorneys. One of the 6 defense attorneys for this man. Is this Rico? Okay, I thought Rico was a last name for an Italian man, but never mind. This black man said, yeah, I'm not with it. This is Anthony Rico right here, y'all. Anthony Rico. He said he is stepping down. I cannot continue with this case. He says verbatim, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs. It is respectfully but regrettably requested that the court grant the relief requested. The lawyer didn't elaborate on why he wanted to step down, but noted the decision came after speaking with Combs' lead counsel, Mark Agnafilo. The attorney suggested the cause for his affidavit's brevity is because he didn't want to divulge any information protected by attorney-client privilege. I think whatever he learned, he said, you know what, I under good conscience, I can't continue with this. I cannot continue with this. So I'm sure there are some details that are even more disturbing, and there's no amount of money that I'm getting from this case is worth it. And that's just a lot. You know, these lawyers are very much money hungry. A lot of them are, not all of them, not to be generalized, not to generalize, but a lot of them are, and they'll defend the devil himself, right? They'll be a devil's advocate, not to play devil's advocate. You have been. But yeah, so he said, yeah, no, never mind. This got too far. I wonder what the details were, and obviously he can't share because of the affidavit and the attorney-client privilege. So, we'll see how this turns out. I'm seeing a lot of people having just a transference of opinion when it comes to Diddy and this case. They are feeling like he is maybe getting the short end of the stick, and it is not fair. Like, because of the documentaries that's been coming out, the push, the media has been in a whirlwind when it comes to making sure Diddy is appearing more of the monster that we are learning he may be. And people are feeling like, oh, that's not fair. He didn't even get bail. He's not getting the rightful presentation to defend. So that's interesting to me. Like, okay, initially, some of y'all, everyone was on just this side of being against him, and he should be brought to justice. This is disturbing. But now they're saying, well, what is he really charged with? I know he's not charged with what he did to Cassie was wrong, but that's not what he's charged with. He's in fact charged with sex trafficking and racketeering, but people are saying, oh, well, it's a technicality. This was the culture with many of the women. Many of the women were in agreement with this lifestyle and participated willingly. So why now? So I don't know. I started watching the Diddy doc, the latest one. I couldn't continue. I could not continue. Me and Freckles Bay were watching it, and it was just, I think it was laughable, honestly. This what's that big mouth woman who started off the episode, and she's like, oh, he threatened me and said he wanted to see the cover of a magazine. This was back in the 90s. And a part of their protocol with Vibe magazine is to not show the artist the cover until it's released. That's just what they do. Let me see if I can find it. Magazine editor. Yeah, Daniel Smith. Okay. And this is how she looks like. Okay. She talking about Diddy threatened her, and he threatened her because she said no. We as Vibe magazine, and her being the editor-in-chief, I don't know if she was editor-in-chief at the time. Maybe she was, but if that's the case, she's been vibing for a long time. Nonetheless, she says here that he threatened her and said he was going to put her in the trunk of his car. And she was so afraid that she was escorted by her security team. What else? She's saying all the details in the story, but then at the end, she's like, I have to be honest with you guys. I don't remember this happening. I was told this happened, but I don't remember because I suppressed this from my mind. I was so shaken up that my mind hid this information as a way to protect myself. Now, these things do happen. As far as, when you go through something traumatic, your mind has a way of making you forget the trauma. That's a part of trauma therapy. You realize, oh man, I did go through some crap. I didn't remember. And then you start to pull out the pieces from that. So I definitely understand that. But what I don't understand is this picture. Hello? What I don't understand is this picture. There are several more pictures of her and Diddy smooching. Not literally, well, not romantically, but, being close, hugging, embracing each other, clearly looking like you are not afraid of this man here who allegedly threatened you. Like, what are we talking about? So anyway, I bring this up to say these videos, these documentaries that are intended to make Diddy look more of a monster, I feel like they're not genuine. Excuse me. I feel like they're not genuine. I don't feel like they're coming from an authentic place. So we'll see how this turns out. Maybe Diddy, I think both things could be true here with this case. I think Diddy may have done some heinous things in his past. And I think there are people who are being paid to take him down, and they don't have any merit with their stories. So we'll see how this turns out. He is still incarcerated, and we'll see how this turns out. All right, you guys, make sure you are subscribed. You have told a friend and told another friend about this podcast. You are leaving a positive review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and leaving a comment on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Also, make sure to check out my Review with Me episodes on my YouTube, where I talk about different reality shows, including Married at First Sight. Maybe I'll get into Love is Blind. This season has been a bore. Look, I have not been on the side of, y'all know, I'm MAGA here, right? But I have not been on the side of, boycotting Target because of DEI being disbanded. No, I have not been on the side of that. But look, I think DEI should have been enforced with this season of Love is Blind. When I tell you I can't tell any of those white people apart, even Devin, he has a white mama. Enough. I don't know who any of these people are. They all have the same name. You have Mason, Maddie, Molly, Maxine. Like, that's my name. But it's just a bore. I'm tired of Virginia tilting her head. You're going to hurt your neck. Why is your head always like this? Virginia, fix your neck. I don't get it, but I'm tuning in, just because it's been a ritual. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, this season has been a bore. They need to stop. Minnesota, like, who thought of Minnesota? They should have did Vegas. They should have did Houston. They should have did. Look, this is a bore. Yeah, DEI should have been enforced. DEI should have been enforced. But anyway, y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.